Here's the number one thing that you're wasting your time on that you absolutely should never do again. And not only am I going to teach you how not to do it any longer, I'm going to show you a framework for management that's going to make you more effective than you've ever been in your life, which I know is a really bold promise. So if you are managing your own communication, that means your own email inbox, SMS, any social platforms and messengers, WhatsApp, Telegram, Thread, blah, 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 blah. Slack, dear God in heaven, do I hate Slack with everything inside of me. This is the biggest time suck in your life, probably by a multiple. It's also the very first thing that you should be delegating to an effective EA. Now, I don't believe EAs should speak as you. So I don't, at any point in this video, am I going to recommend that you actually have the EA responding as you. For people that do that, I'm not bashing you. I just don't like it. I want everybody to know if they've received a response from me, it's actually from me. And I love Brendon Burchard's quote. He says that your inbox is other people's to-do list. So you have amazingly important things to do. You have a whole business to build, you have relationships to build, you have codes to crack and things to ideate and books to write and content to create. Why do we wake up and the first thing we do is check our inbox? It's like, hey, here's everything that's really important to me. Why don't I spend the first half of my day doing everything that's important to everybody else? And incidentally, that ends up not being half of the day, right? It ends up being the whole damn day. And then maybe if you get to the things that are important to you, God bless, good luck. And that for me at least had been a fraction of the time. Here's what you're gonna do. First and foremost, you provide your EA with access to all of your communication conduits, and you cut off communication conduits that the EA can't get access to. So the EA has delegated access to your email inbox, delegated access to all of your Slack channels, delegated access to all your social inbox, which is super easy to do through Meta. And anything that your EA can't manage for you, you either are going to leave for later, or you're just gonna stop accepting messages there. That's the other thing that's really interesting. Why, if you message me on a platform, do I have to pay attention to it? I hate how horribly democratized inboxes are. Like, what social contract exists that says if you text me, I need to respond? So we need to opt out of that framework immediately, because otherwise, everybody in the world has a leash hooked up to your eyeballs, and they get to pull it anytime that they want. It's insane. In order to make this effective, you need to turn off all notifications. This is going to drive you insane, and you're going to have a panic attack, and something's going to be horribly wrong, and you're going to think this is a bad idea, and I promise you it's not. Turn off all notifications, so your phone should never ding. There should never be a buzz or a ding or a dot or a bloop or whatever it is that might happen from your phone. There's no reason that anybody should ever be able to, again, this is a leash. So you cut the leash, cut the cord of the leash. You're going to turn off all ringers, all notifications. All SMS notifications, WhatsApp notifications, email notifications, Slack notifications, gone. You even want to turn off all badges. So when I open my phone right now, I can't tell if I have an unread text message because I can turn off badges on the iPhone. I can't tell if I have unread WhatsApp messages or a Facebook message because the instant I see that prompt, there's this, I don't even know what you would call it. It's like this obsessive compulsive need to check it. So turn off all notifications and all prompts. Now, that's panic inducing, I know. Here's the way that we manage that. Your EA is in all of these things. So your EA gets to watch your email, watch your Slack, watch your messaging, excuse me. I've even built a special phone number that's managed inside of Go High Level. So when people text me, they're not texting my real cell phone number, they're texting that number. And my EA can see those messages. And then choose one communication channel where you speak to your EA. And this needs to be a channel where you only speak to your EA. So I chose something called Line, L-I-N-E, Line. Apparently it's a Japanese messenger that's really popular in Japan. Here's why I chose Line, because it sucks. And I don't use it for anybody else. The only thing that can ring on my phone is Line. So my EA is constantly watching my email, constantly watching my Slack, constantly watching my social messages. And if anything truly urgent comes across her desk, she messages me online. So now I get to be completely free my entire day. I get to focus on the things that are important to me, and I still get to be the catastrophizing entrepreneur that can pay attention if there truly is a very real fire. And people now know, because they've been trained, that if they need to get to me, they go through my EA. The other thing that she's doing is she's distilling all the messages that I'm receiving. So you'll get, if you're CC'd on the wrong email thread, that can be 30 emails going back and forth. There's no reason for me to have visibility on those 30 emails, even if it's something that I need to know about. So we have a Google Sheet that we just call the communication sheet, where she'll go in and she'll make notes as to what happened that I might need to know about, and she'll archive those emails for me. Anything that she thinks I need to respond to stays in my inbox. So it stays in my email inbox. In Slack, she marks it as saved for later. And then around 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon every single day, that's when I go and I get to my inbox. I respond to my emails, I respond to my Slack messages, I respond to any personal messages that I keep. I don't have her in my WhatsApp. WhatsApp's personal to me, so I'll respond to WhatsApp personally. But what it does is it gives me the whole day for me, just to do work on the things that I want to work on. And anything urgent, she gets to pipe through me. And I'll be really clear with her. I'll say, hey, this isn't urgent. You need to let me know about this next time. The other thing that I've done, if you have a large enough organization, is she knows the rules engines, the conduits. If there's a finance issue, go to the finance team. If there's a technical issue, go to my CTO. If there's an operations issue, go to the ops person. If there's a customer service issue, go to Andrew in the customer service department. And she'll now route fires for me so that there's still somebody putting out the fire and I never need to know about it. When was the last time you spent the whole day working on projects that were important to you? And I really want you to think about that, because odds are, and it's funny, we do one-day intensives with our mastermind clients. And it's one of the first questions that we'll ask. What's your most important role, and when was the last time you did it? And what's so funny is, more often than not, it's been months. Months, not weeks, not days, months. I don't know what it is for you, but answer that question for yourself. When was the last time you spent a day working on the things that were most important to you? The things that would really grow your business? The things that would really make you money? When was the last time you actually spent a whole day dedicated to that? And again, chances are it's months. If not months, it's weeks. If it's days, you're doing a great job. Pat yourself on the back, stop watching my videos. Imagine if that was every day. Imagine if every single day was actually committed to doing the things that were needle movers for you, that were building your equity, your brand, your content. And then at the end of the day, you got to other people's task lists. Here's what's really crazy, and I learned this the hard way. By the end of the day, around 2 or 3 p.m. when I start checking my emails, so many of the problems people have emailed me about, they've solved themselves. People learn to be really self-sufficient, and you can train folks that you're just not accessible. I'm just not available. You just cannot get a hold of me. Something is going to go wrong here. If you take my advice, there's going to be an email you miss, there's going to be a fire you're not able to put out, there's going to be a client that you lose. Something will go wrong. Even then, I promise you, the detriment, the disadvantage, the negative, whatever it ends up being, will pale in comparison to all the value you're able to bring into your business and into your life and into yourself. You can't be a dog on a leash. And if anybody can pull on this leash, that's a horribly flawed way to live, just in general, but especially for a business owner and entrepreneur, especially if you have multiple clients, multiple employees, multiple businesses. You have to put yourself in a position where you work on what's important to you first. It's critical. So delegate your inbox management to your EA, and make sure your EA knows what's important to you. By the way, if anything happens with my kids, my EA knows that's a 911 and call me, right? So if I get an email from the school or a message from the school or from, whatever it might be, you can build rules engines into this is the full stop moment, and then you can iterate on that on an ongoing basis. But there's no reason for you to sit there and pay attention to everybody else's to-do list. The last thing I'll say is you can actually begin to communicate through your EA. So very often when she says, oh my goodness, this happened, here's a fire, I don't need to go into Slack to see that fire. All I'll do is I'll tell her reply, and then I'll give her my exact reply. Or forward this to this person, or take this action, or do this thing. So very often the fire is easily pushed back, where if I were in Slack or trying to attend to that, now I just offered my whole day to that project. So reclaim your day, and think about 365 days spent with the majority of the value of that day dedicated to something that's important to you. What would happen? What would your business look like? What would your life look like? What would your income look like? It's incalculable.